Hey everybody, welcome back to another Land Plays of Binding of Isaac AFTERBIRTH, fresh off of a keeper win that kept the streak alive. We're going to be in the mid characters here. Eve, okay. It's been a little while since we've had an Eve run. You remember like that classic Stained song. It's been a little while. BQ3EFG8W, as we have to decide how we feel about a dry baby pickup. It's actually, in a way, it's the worst item you could get on an item room like that, because it's good enough to take, but at the same time, you don't know if somewhere deep within that, didn't mean to almost open that shop, if, not that it would have mattered, I guess, but in some place deep within that reroll machine could exist an item that's substantially better. Does it get better than Dry Baby? It gets better than Dry Baby. I like Dry Baby, though. The other thing to consider is, like, if we're gonna make it get to the point where it's academic almost to the point of absurdity, is it worth getting Dry Baby this early on a run? You know, Dry Baby, does it benefit you more early? Does it benefit you more late? Does it have a static benefit no matter when you pick it up? To be honest with you, I just don't know the answer to that question. What I do know is that I'm kind of, because it's an XL floor, I feel eager to get a really good quality item as a result of the fact that, you know, we need to avoid taking damage in order to get this deal with the devil. Now, Dry Baby, on paper, helps us avoid taking damage. But, you know, if a bullet just hits us and Dry Baby isn't there to stop it, then it doesn't make a difference. You know, it only saves us if it's in the right position. It's not like a Holy Mantle or something like that, but maybe a Holy Mantle is a ridiculous comparison to be making. Alright, this guy's at least very slow. We're just looking for, like, our second item room, really. Damage is fine, an extra key. Oh, our first key allows us to go into the shop. All we had to do was go to the left 2 freaking rooms. I imagine this room will inform my decision on that Dry Baby room a lot. And it's not like, I know people, sometimes you talk about stuff like this and people start going, oh, it's not that big of a deal, just make a decision. It's just an interesting thing to think about, you know? Is, you know, what's the proper way to handle this? So I think we made the right decision there, even though it used a bomb that maybe will have a more valuable purpose later. What's more valuable than, you know, this bomb giving us a better chance to deal with the devil, you know? We probably would have been hit. I don't think we could have taken these enemies out fast enough either way. We could have used it to reroll, though, which is, you know, valid point. Okay. Well, what does Super Sloth give you? Does he give us Bob's Curse? That would be a very, very valuable item right now. Bob's Curse gives us 5 bombs and poison bombs. Probably allows us to, you know, drop 1 or 2 of those on each boss fight coming up and be in a much better position and not take damage. We're gonna need to hit these fucking spiders at some point, though, buddy. I'll tell you that much. There you go. Just stay far away. This is actually likely to be more difficult than a couple of the boss fights we could face at the end of this floor, so just stay cool. If we just get bombs, that's fine. We may have to go Dry Baby. We may choose to go Dry Baby. With 1 bomb, I think we take Dry Baby. You know, we tested pretty much anything I could have wanted to test on this floor, and I think Dry Baby ended up coming out ahead. Now, we could take Monstro's Tooth into these boss fights. And there's validity in that, because there's a battery charge. I actually think that this is the right call. I definitely don't want to take Monstro's Tooth long term, but I'll take Monstro's Tooth into these boss fights to hopefully speed up the process of getting through them. We also may want to go to the shop and try to get a Spirit Heart, but we're going to have to see if that actually makes sense. Oh my god. First off, we need to get at least 4 cents from the donation machine bomb. Secondly, it costs us a key and all of our money anyway. And a bomb. So we'd be leaving with 1 key. And maximum like 1 or 2 cents if things went right. But it might be the right decision, because without it we might not be able to take a deal with the devil at all. But we'll also see what we get from these bosses. Just a much more muted entrance than on our last run, that's for sure. Okay, Super Bandage is awesome. That completely nullifies the earlier complaints. Wow, thank God that's not spikes. That completely nullifies my earlier theory crafting. Hope this boss is a little less agile. There we go. Monstro's Tooth proving its value there. Okay. Pentagram's great. A Thame is not necessarily any good at all, but it of course does come with deal with the devil precedent. So obviously no Whore of Babylon action happening here, but what can you say, really? The pentagram is a nice DPS improvement, and apart from that, you know, we're rolling. Power pill. If only I'd known, we could have used that to maybe not step on the spikes 25 times. So we could try to find a secret room, but I think with one bomb remaining, I'd rather save that for Tinted Rocks in the future. Honestly, I think we played a pretty okay first floor. Dry Baby's not good enough to be excited about, knowing that there was something, you know, lying in wait behind that item that we could have just used our bomb to find. But you know what? We totally can get Whore of Babylon now that we have a Spirit Heart. And we also have, I mean, a Two of Hearts card has value in keeping us alive, but it's kind of antithetical to our goal of staying in the Whore of Babylon state. It's a little dicey because, you know, living is more important than being in the Whore of Babylon state, but we shouldn't be taking those. If those are bad trip, it causes a real problem. I think this is the right call for now, but certainly I could start to, you know, be a little nostalgic for the days when we had a Two of Diamonds, or sorry, a Two of Hearts, if we start taking a little bit more damage. But as of right now, this is feeling pretty right as far as Eve runs go. So what are we looking for? An opportunity to get rid of... I mean, it's very... Like, the situation could go many different ways that still have, you know, chances for victory here. One would be getting rid of almost all of our red hearts, like getting rid of at least one of our remaining red heart containers, maybe two, hopefully for better defense or DPS. Yep. I mean, I don't know what I expected to happen there. I can't believe we didn't get hit again there. That was super weird. But super awesome as well. Then we could also replace our spacebar item, because the Razor exists as a small DPS buff, but like largely just to enable us to get Whore of Babylon setups here. So that's the principal draw from that perspective right now. Am I losing my mind, or are these rooms actually like substantially more difficult than the average Flooded Caves room? Fuck it, let's go fight the boss. It's just Gertie. If you can't beat Gertie under pressure without getting hit, you know, why are you worried about getting a 100 streak? What are you trying to do? Roll 100 runs without, like, one of the more common boss fights here? We actually can afford to get hit as well. We just can't afford to get hit much. This will be a great opportunity. Just throwing it out there. 9 lives Abaddon. Gimpy. Gimpy would be a great pickup. You know, for 1 HP, we get the ability to get more Spirit Hearts in the future. Not as immediately useful as, you know, picking up 2 of the best defensive items in the game, but I would still not be mad about it, I would say is the appropriate reaction to have there. And we're done, and so is Gertie. But DPS, I mean, it's a tanky enemy. I'm not going to sweat it too much. We at least get the value of having an item for the mom transformation. Yeah. Okay, so you take the Mark. You take Judas's Shadow. Do you kill yourself and respawn as Dark Judas? Yes. And you do so quickly. Although our DPS is probably going to be fine right now, we might as well make it better. And the best way to do that is to maybe try to get some value out of it like this. That not paying out is actually completely fine. Now we just want to... I mean, I would prefer not to die on this room, just so we could get the left hand and then move on, because this is a good trinket for us to have in the future here. Then we can walk on the spikes, respawn as Dark Judas, pick up the left hand. And my hope is that we'll find the ability to get a Spirit Heart somewhere else on this floor. Now those pills are a little bit more attractive, honestly. But the chance of them being a bad trip is still pretty devastating. I can see Forever is pretty good. And we are ahead of schedule here for boss rush purposes as well, but our DPS should be pretty great now with the Mark and the Dark Judas multiplier. Piggy Bank is not anything to write home about on a non-keeper run. And even on a keeper run, it's not necessarily going to keep you alive. Not the trinket. Not the trinket. Fantastic. Okay, so we got 14 cents, or we got 2 14 cents, and a luck upgrade as well. And the luck upgrade is nice, mostly for the future. It makes for a more interesting chest. It's like an investment in the future entertainment value of your run. That's why I like it so much. We do have access to a Spirit Heart, so I will pick that up. And honestly, I don't think we really want the Boomerang. Do we want the Razor Blade? No, not really, but oh, I think that we found ourselves a spacebar item. It is always right there when I need him. The Emperor card is valuable, but I could be persuaded to replace it. Not with Hagalaz. Not with Algiz. Oh, see you in hell. That was the curse room. Wow, fantastic. Okay, you know, maybe we don't go that way, and instead we go this way. I mean, the Telepills can be good, although the Emperor... maybe you want Telepills for Boss Rush specifically, but anyway, it doesn't matter too much. Hagalaz we don't want. Awaz we just use. The Gaz would make me feel a little bit better about things. Algiz, Hagalaz. Honestly, we take the Emperor card. One of the few times that I've found a room with like 4 or 5 runes in it, and or 5 or 6 runes? I don't know. It doesn't matter too much. Either way, none of them were worth really even using. Even Onsus, you know, we'd already seen the entirety of the floor. We had I Can See Forever. These enemies dying in 1 to 2 hits is making me feel a little bit better about things. But we honestly shouldn't feel bad about things, I think. Being on 2.5 HP here is not necessarily the end of the world. Open this up. We get more pills. I don't really want to fight these enemies, but our only choice is to either fight them or use the Emperor card. And it's not worth using the Emperor card. It's so much more valuable later. Even if we can't get Boss Rush teleportation out of it, it's extremely important just for the purposes of, you know, skipping the entirety of the Cathedral, for example. You know, like, that is worth fighting these enemies. And we'll get another item for finishing anyway, so. We got Pheromones and Explosive Diarrhea, which means we gotta go. And in the end, we didn't really lose anything by going in on that room, but we're still behind the 8 ball in a lot of different areas here. Like, just throwing this out there, no keys, no bombs is a real bummer. No keys and no bombs make Homer something something go crazy. Don't mind if I do. It's been a while. There we go, Deadshot. Deadshot, and by Deadshot, of course, I mean Deadeye, is a quality item. Our DPS is good, and it's gonna get better. You're bundled up now. Wait till you get older. Either way. Just wasted the extra damage we've got built up there. But this is going to be extremely good for us on this run. I was going to say in the future. My default speech pattern for that is this is going to be extremely good for us in the future. I'm not saying it's going to be a win, but something, 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 and then, you know, you bring it all back. But it's extremely good for us right now. You know, we need some stuff in the short term. It's a good run, but we need some stuff in the short term to keep us alive. The long term is kind of a secondary concern. The short term is really what I need to be preoccupied with at the present moment, and we're lucky enough to be able to do a pretty good job of it. Now, the Emperor card may all of a sudden be completely worthless. Really depends on whether or not we end up using the Joker card on this floor. Do we even want to use the Joker card considering our HP right now? Well, that'll depend on what this boss has in store for us, I suppose. We also... we have been to our item room on this floor, of course, because it was Deadshot, and by Deadshot, of course, I mean Deadeye. Okay, somehow we didn't take damage there, which is remarkable to me. We got Little Steven and hopefully a Krampus fight. Well, no Krampus fight, so we can't take any deal with the devil here. So we're gonna move on. Joker is better than Emperor for boss rush purposes, and we're on pace for that thanks to our amazing DPS. Really on pace for it now that we know we're on an XL floor as well, but it's a scary position, dude. Our HP is just low enough that anything could happen on this run. And we can't really... I mean, you can never really teleport out of a curse room. You always have to... You're just delaying the cost of the curse room until slightly later. Dark Bomb would be a great pickup. You know, anything that can capitalize on these red hearts. We need a better spacebar item, but I mean, it's the ultimate irony, of course, that Satanic Bible actually would have been like the perfect spacebar item for us if we could have afforded it, but we can't. Maybe that I should have stuck around maybe on that last floor and tried to find a way to make that work because, you know, even if we went down to 1.5 spirit hearts or, well, you know, let me put it this way. The minimum HP we could have had after picking up Satanic Bible is 1.5 hearts. Because as soon as you pick it up, you're going to use it, and in order to pick it up, you have to live. The minimum you can live with is a half heart. So I think my arithmetic holds out there. Even if we were doing something, you know, fucky with a Thame, and just, ooh, we did get an Thame payout there. It could have been worth it. Of course, it could have completely ruined our run, but it could have been worth it. So you take Pandora's box, and I think it could give us spirit hearts, but we save it. We're not getting any value at all out of the Razor Blade. We might as well try for, at the very least, some boss items. You know, HP is not destructive for us. We're no longer Eve. If we get boss items on the womb, that's awesome. If we get, if we feel like we're safe and we can hold, you know, this item until the Cathedral, even better. You know, we can get Godhead out of it. Or we can get, you know, Holy Water. But we could get Godhead. It's technically true. Alright, so first, I really want to see HP. It keeps us alive, but perhaps more importantly, it enables deals with the devil that I have not been able to take advantage of. Okay, there we go. And a Tears Up is just the icing on the cake there. If we could just get a little bit more along with this. I mean, we got item rooms on this floor. We haven't seen any of them so far. I don't know what it is. Our tears just look nice now. Like, they were looking pretty good before. Nice and robust and red. Saying robust and red to describe the appearance of something just makes me feel like I'm like a animal breeder or something. It's not really the look I'm going for, to be honest with you. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but these ones have a nice, a certain je ne sais quoi. As the French would say, a certain l'étranger. Well, we have a curse room available to us. Whether we want to go to that curse room with a relatively scary amount of HP remains to be seen. I think this run still sits on the razor's edge. That's nice. It doesn't change things too much. Blue Baby's only friend. Helpful, I guess, for Beelzebub. And a tinted rock. What is this? I see with my two eyes? That's not the way that expression goes. What is it? I spy with my little eye. I never thought about it until, because first off, I haven't heard of anyone use the expression I spy with my little eyes since I was like 7 years old. But you guys ever play that? I'd be like, I spy with my little eyes something that is, you know, purple. And then they'll be like, oh, is it that picture of Grimace on the wall over there? It's a little guessing game that you can play, you know? What is a little eye? Because as an adult, you know, if I asked you if you pointed to your eyes and said, what part of your body is that? I'd say, eye. I don't want you to point to your little eye. I think that might be a part of your body I don't want to know. And I definitely don't want that part of your body to spy on me. I don't want anybody to spy on me with their little eyes. Little eyes are spying. These eyes are spotting something pink, and it's not that thing that you think that you thought it was. What do you do with the Joker card if this is good? Well, thankfully it's good enough to use, but not to keep. And we got a Spirit Heart out of that as well. Plenty of time left here. Like, Boss Rush is important. It's another item room, effectively. And I always think that people misjudge Boss Rush. Like, I'm still beating this drum that it's worth skipping an item room to get to Boss Rush. It's like an item room with 4 possible choices. It's great. I think if we missed Boss Rush here, we would consider it a misstep. Oh, that's so good. 8-inch nails. We would consider it on a misstep on the level of, like, you know, forgetting to go to an item room on a floor. Because we really, like, it has the potential to be very good for us. It certainly has the potential to be as good or better than an item room just by virtue of the, you know, the number of items in there. We will take Chaos. Let's get weird with it, dude. And we'll donate. I think we have time to. I don't think we need to save 5 cents or whatever we're thinking here. I mean, getting up to 630 would be awesome. Considering we were at 580, like, this time last run, that's pretty solid. And with 18 minutes, remember, we only have one boss left to fight, so... I thought we could make it there. Was that worth it? That was not worth it, but... we are going to go to the curse room. It's going to cost us a spirit heart. Might be able to swing... Oh, we didn't need to come to this room, though. We might be able to swing a demon heart out of it if we get the right kind of payout with a theme, but mostly it's just, you know... I don't know what this expression means, but I think it applies here. Smoke him if you got him. I've talked about this before too. I don't know if that expression is talking about cigars or something else, but I guess if you got him, smoke him. If you don't, what are you gonna smoke? Exactly, nothing. We're gonna go fight Mom, and if we get hit, it's not the end of the world. Getting hit once at least doesn't bother me. You know, we have a theme, we could reap a reward for doing it. I almost hope we don't get a deal with the devil. That way we can use the Joker card and not cannibalize for no reason the Joker card and or our penalty, or our chance for a deal with the devil on the next floor. That might sound a little confusing. Basically what I mean is, if we don't get a deal with the devil, we know we're probably going to use the Joker card either way. So not getting a deal with the devil is for the best, because it means that our deal with the devil chance on the next floor is better. But it's kind of like a correlation versus causation sort of situation. I'm not taking Dad's key. Mega Satan is interesting, but he's not that interesting. But neither are any of these other items. I guess PhD into a power pill, into our Joker card, into the world's worst teleportation. Alright, well that was like a super bummer. Now, you're going to think that this is the wrong thing to do, but I think, correct me if I'm wrong, with Chaos, I think we can use Pandora's box right now. It gave us 2 angel items. Okay, so I'm not saying I was right, but I might have been right. Why wait for the Cathedral to get 1 item that could be any item in the game, when we could use it on the Womb 1, and we can get 2 items that could be any item in the game? Both of these were fantastic. You know, we now take half a heart of damage instead of a full heart of damage down here. And Holy Light is a nice DPS improvement. We even got a Book of Secrets to back us up. You know, it's not the best spacebar item in the game. We also just got Mystery Sack out of a red chest. But it's not the best spacebar item in the game, but it's something, especially if we've got no other means to, you know, figure out where the heck we're going. Chubb dislikes smoke. The one time I say, or I don't say it's going to be Chubb dislikes smoke, it is, obviously. So already, like, this run, if it hasn't been entertaining, at least there's been some vindicating information. That was a really remarkable play. And I like rolling the dice. You know, you roll them enough times, you're going to get 2 snake eyes in a row and people are going to think you're the greatest player of all time. So, you know, really, that was the game giving us a nice little victory there that I appreciate a great deal. No tinted rocks on this room. We're in a great spot. Now it's mostly just about keeping ourselves alive. And a judgment card is not necessary to pop on this floor, because first off, we don't have a bunch of money, so if we're trying to get a payout from it, we don't have a lot of HP for that either, but if we're trying to get a payout from a judgment, now's not really the time. If we're trying to blow it up for a better deal with the devil chance, we don't need it. We didn't get a deal with the devil on the next floor, so we can maybe like have our cake and eat it too if we're able to get a deal with the devil on this floor regardless. Yeah, I was pretty confident I was going to get hit there once things started shaking out. Alright, Triachnid. Actually, you know what? A Demon Judgment we could take advantage of thanks to the wafer, but first things first. Safety Pin. Not horrible. And Attack Fly? Why not? It gives us permanent Polaroid invincibility. It's not on the caliber of other Deal with the Devil items, but it gives us a little bit of a defensive play and permanent Polaroid invincibility. It takes us closer to Beelzebub. Offensively, it's not bad. There's some okay stuff here. Now you give me something that's not a single HP upgrade, please. A key is acceptable right now, and we'll come back to you later. I mean, we're not gonna do Hush. I'll tell you that straight up. This is not a Hush run unless we get some ridiculous payouts. Even less so than the last run, or 2 runs ago. The last run was that, you know, fairly dominating keeper run. that made me believe in a higher power in this universe. 2 extra spirit hearts and 1 extra spirit heart. Okay. We've probably reached the point at which our tiers are actually better than Blue Baby's only friend. However, sometimes it's going to feel right to use Blue Baby's only friend just so we don't have to maintain line of sight on an enemy. Remember, you know, if we have line of sight on an enemy, that enemy may have line of sight on us. Now, I'm not going to let Curse of the Unknown intimidate me. We just picked up 3 spirit hearts. That's 6 damage, so we'll spend 2 of that damage coming in here and, you know, feeling pretty good about the way our HP looks right now. Mostly thanks to the wafer, but I'll take it either way. Okay, we got another double key room. And we got 10 keys, so that's no problem. I don't necessarily expect it to have anything of extreme value, but, you know, if it's got anything of any value, that's fine by me. Okay, we can see secret rooms as well. Might want to save our bombs just for the potential of tinted rocks. I mean, 3 bombs is not a ton, so... yeah, I'll use 3 keys to open 3 red chests. First one was a bummer. Second one was a bummer. Third one, not a bummer. Explosive diarrhea power pill. Power pill is okay. Was it worth 3 keys? Probably not. But life goes on. See, like a situation like this, Blue Baby's only friend and Attack Fly can basically get the job done without me really needing to do anything. So I'm happy to let them take the reins on this one. There's no safe place to stand. This one got a little away from me pretty quick. Oh, and then I just blew it at the last second for no reason. Okay. That's my bad. I love that sound effect. I can't kill you. Please make the sound one more time. Rawr! Some Son of Rambo stuff there. I don't know if we even want that HP, but we're going to take it regardless, you know? Permanent Polaroid invincibility is not necessarily that important right now. Where do you use Power Pill? I mean, with Blue Baby's only friend, we really just use it on a fight that's going to annoy us. So that could be any number of situations that are quickly approaching. Another Attack Fly and Beelzebub. So that Attack Fly from the Deal with the Devil is not looking so bad now. Algiz is officially better than Power Pill. We probably should use both, but I'm not gonna. Alright. So the good thing about fighting a relatively stationary enemy is that the Deadeye damage bonus is going to pop off ridiculously. And combine that with Holy Light, and you got a recipe for, like, Mom's Heart getting neutralized pretty quickly here. Yeah, I still can't justify the Hush fight, unfortunately. Fortunately, unfortunately, it doesn't matter. We don't have a ton of keys for that purpose either. Okay. Almost certainly we're going to the right here. HP is fine. Remember, like, in a different situation, I might not be that stoked about our HP, but we also have the wafer, so effectively our HP is doubled. And then beyond that, our DPS is at least great. Spectacular? Maybe not. But at least great. So, I'm not concerned about our actual... about our ability to win this run. This should be a win. And it really comes down... I'm not going to get money here. Like, maybe the pennies give us luck upgrades, but I'd rather have the bombs. It comes down to, like, that smart Judas's shadow play. And it's not like I had to... First off, shadow play sounds like a weird puppet fetish or something. I don't know. Shadow puppets? Yeah, it sort of makes sense. And then don't let me king shame you. If you're into puppets, be into puppets. I don't care. As long as it's a heterosexual relationship with a puppet, that's all I give a shit about. That's obviously a joke. I hope it's or is it obviously a joke? You know, you'd be like, I know NL isn't homophobic, but is it possible that he's homophobic towards gay puppets? All stars and stripes of puppets out there are fine as far as I'm concerned. We're going to fight Isaac here and get off of this uncomfortable topic of speech. I forgot what I was going to say. I stand by that joke, though. Either way, let's wedge ourselves down here in the corner. I would like a better spacebar item on the chest if possible. I'd like to get Dad's key. I know we had the opportunity to get it earlier and I took PhD instead. In hindsight, that looks pretty stupid, because we got, like, you know, a range upgrade as a result. Oh, you know what I was gonna say? All you fuckers out there think I'm not gonna drop the left hand. Check that shit out. Happy learned to have a coffee 30 minutes before recording his video, and as a result, his brain is kicked into, you know, average gear. Synth oil, no question. Necronomicon, I mean, it might be better than Book of Secrets after Book of Secrets is used once. And Mom's Knife, I mean, it's a great item, don't get me wrong, but I want to maintain our ability to have Holy Light shots, and I believe that a Holy Light, you might still get the damage from it, from Mom's Knife, but it sort of gets cannibalized by Mom's Knife. So, you know, we have the luxury of not having to take Mom's Knife here, and I'm gonna revel in that. I love Mom's Knife. You know, just save it for a future run. We don't necessarily need it on this one. All we need to do is, you know, pick up our next syringe from these guys? No? Okay, all we need to do is win then. I mean, we're on the boss fight. Necronomicon's not going to make a difference. At this point, nothing's going to make a difference. It's going to be a win, and we're going to continue moving on here. And a fun win at that. You know what we have not seen a lot of? And I... maybe I should be thankful for it, but I have not seen a lot of reroll rooms. As we were getting a little up there, you know, 16, 17 wins, we were starting to get what seemed like a reroll room or two per run. And now, we haven't seen any over the start of this one, if I remember correctly, but maybe that's a blessing. For now, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.